we know one thing for sure, and that's humans are crazy. And with a crazy species, you can expect some crazy outcomes and behaviors.
Those are crazy people.
In this video, we'll be exploring some of the craziest, the most outlandish and wildest health trends. So if you're eating and you're watching this video, maybe stop eating, because number 3 and number 4 is crazy. Just wait and see. Scrolling through TikTok and seeing videos like this.
More testicle eating. Well, why didn't you say so? Sounds great to me. I don't know, there's probably about 30 in here, 40. I have no idea. Let's do it. Fresh nut.
Your boy is eating bowels, man. And you might be thinking, damn, these new health nuts are crazy. But the only difference now is that people can fact check things online. You can go through the research, you can understand the logic behind some of these people's thinking. But for some reason, a lot of people choose not to actually do the research. And in the pre-internet era, this could be forgiven, because some of the craziest health trends through the pre-internet era was things like smoking cigarettes. At one point, these were marketed and considered as healthy, something to do to help you lose weight, to stay calm. And to help with this perception of health, they used influencers of that day, which were doctors, which were athletes, which were sports people, actors. Those were the influencers of yesterday. And today, the use of influencers to promote health trends, some of which are crazy, is still something to be mindful of. So that goes to show that influencers pushing things that may not make sense for you is not a new concept. This has been done for millennia, as far back as people were exchanging money for goods. And back then, on top of buying influencers, you can buy ad space such as flyers, and these flyers were very influential. Look at this one. It says, eat, 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 and always stay thin. Fat is the enemy that's shortening your lifespan and is banished. Is banished with what? With sanitized tapeworms. Yep. At one point, people were pushed and marketed to eat tapeworms, and that was a thing. They would eat a pill containing these tapeworm eggs, and the eggs will hatch in the belly and the intestines and eat the food that you're eating, so you don't consume those calories and essentially lose weight. So historically, if people will go to this extreme, it makes sense today that people would also do crazy things like abdominal etching.
Yes, it is. It's called abdominal etching. A surgeon liposuctions the fat to make it look like a six-pack. If done properly, results can look like this. But if you do it on somebody with a pot belly like me, it can make their abdomen look like the shell of a turtle.
One thing's for sure and two things for certain is that we're living in some crazy times, but the times we're living in have always been crazy.
Today we're going to be doing a procedure called abdominal etching. And this involves giving the abdominal area extra definition after liposuction. It's done at the same time. Some patients who are good candidates for this.
Now that's crazy. You know, surgery for abs, and hope people who do abdominal etching get some sort of a subscription, because the same bad habits that put you in a position that required you to need surgery to actually lose some belly fat will put you in that same position again. So hopefully there's like a pay monthly plan, because you're gonna have to keep on getting that, because it's unsustainable. Going under the knife unnecessarily too is a very weird time that we're in, but I understand that people want fast results, but only results that last are the ones that you put the work in or the habits change. So the main thing that's required for a change of habit is a change in diet, but even that is so bloody confusing. What diet? There's so many parallel diets to choose from. Let's watch a couple of videos.
I don't think veganism should be a thing. I've never really come across a healthy looking vegan. People do tell me I'm being irresponsible.
Get me some lamb liver. Doesn't that look so good?
I don't think there's any risks of the carnivore diet. I was like 4 to 5 stone overweight. The carnivore diet has made me well hot, I reckon.
13 pounds of raw testy. Yummy. Time to eat, guys. I haven't had pesties.
No, so we're recently being told to eat nothing but rare meat, red meat, bull testicles, and all of that BS. And people wholeheartedly believe in this diet, as seen from some of these videos. And this is becoming a key trend. And what I see interesting, and this is just my observation, is how a lot of the vegan community were up in arms about these trends about eating raw meat. And, you know, the extremes of both sides, to me, watching from the outside, do kind of sound like each other. So let's watch this video again, right?
Yummy! Time to eat, guys. I haven't had testes in over a week. So this is the first meal I'm having back in the States. And oh boy, is it gonna be a good one. 13 pounds of raw testes. Let's see what I can do with your sack. Here we go. Ready? Go!
Alright, so watching that video with the whole looking at testes and saying yum kind of reminds me of a few vegan people when they eat grass and they were doing a little dance and the weird eyes that a lot of these people have. Dick. I'm not trying to draw anybody out, but it just kind of reminds me of some people within the raw vegan diet community. And saying yum eating grass is just ridiculous because there is no grass on the face of the earth that tastes nice raw by itself. And it's similar to how these guys are eating like raw testicles and they're saying it tastes nice. They're going yum. You can't yum that. Come on, man. You can't. There is no yum in that, you know.
More testicle eating. Well, why didn't you say so? Sounds great to me. I don't know, there's probably about 30 in here, 40. I have no idea. Let's do it. Fresh.
Man said, come on, man. You can't yum that. You know, the problem with social media is that normal conversations, normal people rarely get the attention. They rarely rise to the top. You need to be a bit on the wild side with borderline narcissistic traits to gather that. You need to have that sense of importance, and normal people don't get a look in, and that's why the weirdest cream tends to ride to the top of the crop. You know, that's how the game goes because that's what pulls in our attention. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because until demand changes, supply can't, because we are subconsciously demanding this crazy stuff to keep us engaged, hence the weird cycle of social media. But hopefully with channels like this we can somewhat start to break the mold, and I'm seeing an emergence of normal channels with normal people talking about normal things. So I got faith, kinda. But when it comes to diet, you can't win. Historically, we were told eat vegetables, eat your fruits, eat healthy, wholesome foods. But then you're seeing a rise in videos like this.
You sometimes ask me which vegetables are okay to eat. My answer is no. Why would you eat plant leaves?
4 reasons why I don't eat vegetables. Number 1, they contain anti-nutrients like leptins, oxalates and phytates, which can prevent the absorption of the vitamins and minerals that are found.
So this person and the rise of these people are saying do not eat vegetables because of anti-nutrients, which we know there's ways to kind of get rid of anti-nutrients, and plants have been shown in numerous studies to be highly beneficial for the body. But there's an increase in content like this, which it's like blanket statements. It's like me saying all plants are bad, or me saying all meats are bad, or me saying these aren't truths. There's always a gray area in between. There's a fine line between something being wholeheartedly bad if you have a little bit and something being bad if you have a lot. And some of the studies don't show you where the line in between that is. And it's up to each individual to make up the mind for themselves. In my opinion, don't listen to anyone. You know, you hear all the information from many different sources and understand what works best for you. There's a quote from Marcus Garvey that I like to use in regular life. It's hear all but attend only to that concerns you. So you hear everything, but only what is for you is for you. Don't ignore everything else. There's a lot of trash out there. If you're wondering what I eat, personally, I eat a plant-based diet and I sometimes eat fish. But what's good for the goose doesn't necessarily mean it's good for the gander. So what is working for me might not work for you. There's people who eat pure meat and then they end up sick, and there's people who eat pure plants and end up sick. And remember, there's some people who just don't eat, period. And this is another crazy thing. It's the breatharian diet.
Breatharian is someone who eats little or nothing at all. One gets to a certain state of energy cultivation where they can sustain off the energy that they cultivated, where they don't need dense foods. My process is purely through breath mechanics and breathing.
I remember watching this video of this guy who claimed to be a breatharian, and he was put in a room, like a hidden room, I think for 28 days or something along those lines, and he survived with no food and no water. Whether it's been debunked now or not is another thing, but breatharians believe of getting their energies from the sun. What I found interesting in this case with this person who was locked in this room was there was no sunlight, so the whole thing just didn't really make any sense to me. And have you heard of breatharianism before? Comment down below, let me know what you think, because I've done a 3-day fast and I felt fine, so maybe it isn't that crazy. And there's also things about the body we'll never understand, but to have no food in 4 years, bro, in 4 years, he's saying no mangoes, no cashew nuts, no dates. I mean, the good stuff in life. Life is too short to deprive oneself of like watermelon. You know? Speaking of watermelon, there's people now who say you shouldn't eat watermelon because it raises your blood sugar. Watch this.
Okay, I am now going to test watermelon on my NutriSense continuous glucose monitor. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes of watermelon. It's the summertime, so I hope this is good.
2 hours later.
Okay, so not really the best, unfortunately. Here is the graph. This is not really that good if you're trying to lose weight, if you're insulin resistant or diabetic. But I will say this, I consider watermelon healthy, and if you're gonna spike blood sugar 1 time a day, I say doing it with watermelon is fine.
All right, bro redeemed himself towards the end, luckily, because watermelon is life. But at the same time, if you're trying to lose weight, you shouldn't be avoiding fruit, because even though it raises your blood sugar, this is on a glucose monitor, so a lot of people are checking this. If you're diabetic, this could be an issue. But judging the use of a food or the benefit of a food based on insulin spike is only 1/3 or 10% of the picture. I could eat a burger today or a full kebab full of junk and get no insulin spike and my blood sugar is flat. Or on the other hand, I can eat a watermelon and my blood sugar is high. Does that make the burger kebab fine and watermelon not? Quality of the whole is more important than the impact of the singular impact of that thing. So the body is well equipped to handle sugar as a whole in its natural form. If you're eating processed sugar regularly, then you might need to worry. But the whole concept of a glucose monitor in itself, is that a scam? Questionable. You know, I've actually worn one before, but I wore it as a bit of an experiment, and I just think it's relatively pointless unless you're really diabetic or something, or you're pre-diabetic and you're trying to bring your blood sugar or your insulin response back to normalcy. And the last crazy health trend here that we'll talk about is one that's been practiced as far back as ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, ancient Greek, and I get a bit confused as to why people are still participating in this today. And the same people who speak about the body being created by God, being perfect and everything having a purpose. We eat, the body processes it. It takes that nutrients, that life force, and nourishes the body, and then it passes away waste. Keyword waste. But this is the trend that's increasing now.
I had been drinking my own urine since 2005. I heard it was a health thing or whatever, and I wanted to try it. And I think I was driving to San Francisco, and I didn't want to stop, and so I peed in a cup and I drank it. And I was like, that's not that bad. And I liked the energetic. It's like a hair of the dog. It's like you're a biocomputer, right? You're a complete intelligent being, right? And then this just came out of you, and you put it right back in, and it's like a diagnostic.
Do you know what's crazy about people who drink urine? Like, urine is 1/3 of the picture. You know, like even B12, for example. B12 is processed or created like by humans, a bit low on the digestional tract, right? Which means that poop contains B12. So one could argue that the best way to consume, you know, B12 is to eat your own poop. And I don't think I see people doing that. Or wait.
Wow. This is incredible. The flavor is immaculate. Never tasted anything like this before. The way it just melts in your mouth is really exquisite. 10 out of 10. We'll eat again.
You know how God is in that video, yeah? Is looking at all of this stuff and thinking, my children, they're forsaken. They're forsaken the path. Hey, it's crazy. Like, people are drinking this stuff for nutrients, and in my opinion, just have more nutrients, because waste includes bacteria, includes toxins and chemical byproducts from different processes, and this is released and passed out through your urine. So why would you reconsume this for its nutrients? Just eat more nutrients. And besides, I've never seen, or there's no proven studies on the benefit of urine therapy. And what I can't imagine is that someone who practices this is in a healthy relationship. You know, imagine me meeting a girl on, I don't know, Hinge or Tinder. Things are going well, things are going smooth, you know, smoothly. At one point do I say, so, babes, what do you think of urine? Man, once I drop that line, she's out. You know, it seems like a loner health trend, but that's my opinion. Don't shoot me for it. It's just a little bit of fun. Hope you enjoy these videos on the craziest trends, something different from our usual schedule. Vote in the comments what video you want to see next. Do you want to see a benefits of Lion's main video, a benefits or a video on performance in the bedroom, or my actual thoughts on Fedoja? Let me know in the comments, and before you go, check out this video on the benefits of Kegels for men. Peace.